Baby. So, I think it is very likely this is the last time I'll be speaking in the baby category without an actual baby in tow. Friday night, Liz lost her mucus plug, and then some stuff started happening that made us think that maybe she also had like ruptured her amniotic sac or something like that. And so we actually went to the hospital yesterday just to be safe. She was feeling fine. She wasn't really having contractions or anything. And we were at the hospital for a few hours. They ran some tests, said that there was no amniotic fluid leaking, and they basically said, you know, come back when when you are having contractions so powerful that you can't even talk on the phone. Now the interesting thing is I didn't realize that Liz actually had been having real contractions. I think we'd been assuming that what she'd been feeling had been like pre-contractions, Braxton Hicks kind of stuff. But you know, as she was hooked up in the hospital, they had these two different graphs going, the little kind of things, and the top one was the beats per minute for the baby, which was between about 125 and 160, which we were told is it's actually really good to have a range like that. It means the baby's brain is healthy, that it's recognizing, you know, different changes in pressure, I think, because it had to do with the contractions. The second graph below was actually contractions. It looked like an earthquake chart where you have like little low lines and then back down. And so she was actually having like real contractions about 3 to 5 minutes apart, and sometimes 7 minutes, only lasting about 30 seconds. So, you know, definitely not long enough to be at the hospital. But yeah, you know, it's just like, oh wow, so this is actually like happening. And so they think that this is going to happen soon. Maybe in the next today, maybe in a few days. It's one of those funny things, you know, so much about giving birth. There's so many things that basically you would think would be like, oh, this means that, you know, 48 hours till something happens, or this means till a couple hours till something happens. And yet, so often it's just like, well, it's different for everyone. Like, you know, losing your mucus plug, for example, that means the baby could be coming in a couple hours or a few weeks. It's like all these things, really all it means is, well, these are things that happen before the baby comes. So, you know, you take what you can with that. But yeah, we're really getting there. So we're kind of just on standby now. And Liz is definitely having contractions. Last night was pretty intense. The interesting thing, of course, and apparently this isn't that uncommon, is she is having contractions really powerfully at night, and then during the day, almost not feeling it at all. Now, I wondered if that had something to do with lying down versus being on her feet, but no, it's really like a day versus night thing. So, you know, right now, she's not really feeling that much of anything, which is fascinating that you can have something so powerful and intense at night and then just kind of be fine during the day. You know, I think it means that things could happen anytime. Again, it means absolutely everything and absolutely nothing. It means we could be headed to the hospital in a few minutes, a few hours, a few days. We have placed some guesses here. I think Liz thinks things are going to go down Monday. I said Wednesday, just to you know, be a contrarian or something, and so that one of us can say they were right and the other one was wrong. Or if it comes Tuesday, we were both equally wrong, which is fine. So anyway, other baby stuff this week. We started to get some of the things we got from our big Amazon thing. I think I mentioned last week, Amazon has this little incentive where they encourage you to order a lot of things at once because then they give you 10% off most of it, you know, qualifying items. And so we got in our car seats, we got in the stroller. I need to assemble the stroller. Looks great though. I think it's gonna be a great stroller. It's the Chico, one of the Chico strollers. We were debating about getting the different one only because it doesn't have like a crossbar in the front for the baby to have like milk or whatever, you know, whatever kind of stuff you put in their bottles, napkins, who knows. But what's great about it is everything about it is one-handed. You can like lift it up with one hand, you can be holding the baby here and, you know, carry the stroller around. That's really convenient. So super portable, great safety ratings. It also came with a car seat, so like the car seat goes into the stroller, you can also take it out, strap it into a car. We bought 2 receivers for the car. So I tried to install those. Now those are kind of interesting. There's 3 different ways to install this baby car seat receiver thing. One thing involves a strap that comes with the seat where you basically latch it to, you know, 2 fixed metal rods, latches, in the car, which is only really in newer cars. Our Pathfinder doesn't have it, our new Jeep Patriot does, and that feels pretty secure. You can tighten it quite a bit. The other 2 ways are basically using like the overhead strap, pulling that down, or using the, if you're in the middle, just that middle seat and pulling that around the back. Now, what I found kind of interesting is it doesn't feel, none of those options actually feel that secure, even though this car seat and car receiver have great safety ratings, because it's a fixed point only at the end. So, you know, everything in the front is still pretty loose. So, you know, if you're looking in section at the car, here's where it's latched, here's the car seat. And so, you know, it's like, it's tight here, but then the front moves around a lot, and maybe that's not a problem at all. In fact, I'm almost sure it isn't, because why else would this have such great safety ratings? But it does feel less secure than you would think it would want to be. What was really good, by the way, about the hospital stuff yesterday was it made us kind of get our crap together. One thing that we'd done so many, actually, way more things to prepare than I thought we were going to be able to before the baby. One thing we hadn't done yet was prepare our hospital bags. So just like everything we're going to need for a, you know, potentially several day stay at the hospital. And when she called up her contact at the hospital yesterday to decide whether or not we should go, they were like, come down here immediately. And we were like, we were going to go to a book sale, we were going to hang out, we were going to, you know, relax around the house. And so Liz was like, well, should I go now or can I go in like an hour? And she was like, come now. And we didn't actually listen to that because we didn't have anything packed. And so we ran back to the house, you know, because we didn't know if yesterday going to the hospital if we were going to be staying there. So, you know, I did a bunch of stuff for the cats. We cleaned stuff up. We grabbed clothes, food, electronics, whatever stuff that we thought we might need for a few days. And so what's good is we went to the hospital, obviously came home, here I am, and we just left that stuff in the car. So that stuff is just ready to go whenever we want to go. Hopefully there's no food in there that's going to melt too much. Did we put chocolate in there? There might be chocolate in there. We'll see. But yeah, so that was really good. Other random baby stuff is I had a blood test this week at my hospital for my new insurance company. I think it's Northwestern Mutual. We did decide that I'm going to do some disability insurance, and that really does have a lot to do with the baby coming. And you know, in my case, I find something like life insurance to be kind of silly because, you know, what a lot of insurance salesmen try to tell you is like, well, if you were to die, don't you want your spouse to be able to live a rich, extravagant life after your death or something like that? Which, you know, I mean, let's be frank, people adapt. If something were to happen to me, something were to happen to Liz, as long as it's minus funeral expenses, you know, I think we're both very capable of living fairly comfortably on our own without the other person, if that was necessary. Obviously, it'd be a tragedy. So life insurance, whatever. Disability insurance means a lot more to me because that is something that, you know, could end up with me being a liability, where something could happen to me and suddenly not only am I not able to provide for my family, my wife and now soon-to-be son, but actually being a burden to them and requiring a lot of extra money and upkeep for whether it's physical therapy, installing wheelchair ramps, who knows. And so I don't want to be a liability, and so we are looking at some kind of policy that, you know, again, nothing extravagant, but at least enough to feel like if something were to happen to me, then my family would kind of be okay, just in terms of medical costs and all that. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that ends the last baby segment, probably before the baby comes, I think. And I just want to say again, I am thrilled and excited and terrified, and seeing Liz like in the full like hospital gown yesterday and all that, like it was such a powerful feeling to just be like, wow, this is the kind of room this is gonna happen in. This is the whole setup, all these monitors. There's like a little incubator chamber for the baby. Really powerful stuff, and I know it's going to totally change my life. I know it's going to be wonderful. I know I'm going to be exhausted and frustrated sometimes, and I just need to focus on what an incredible thing this is going to be. And I'm already so grateful for the opportunity to be a father, and I just want to do a good job. So hopefully next time you see me talking in the baby segment, I'll be holding someone. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, baby.